I think we're going to start. It's 12:15, so we're going to go ahead and start. Sorry about the delay, but I was here on time. But we were just waiting on everybody else. Okay, so today we are going to talk about negotiation strategies and calling bluffs. The reason I came up with this topic was because of today's market and how every agent is trying to get more for themselves and for their client, which is okay. But sometimes, or a lot of the times, what's happening now is they're ending up bluffing, lying to you, exaggerating, and you still want, of course, to get the best for your client as well. So, and that happened to me a few times in the past 3 months. So this is why I decided to make this a topic. So let's go forward. And if you guys have any questions, you can definitely ask, and we can go over like scenarios and stuff too. So let me just pull this down, I think, right there. Yeah. Okay. So negotiating strategies and calling bluffs in real estate negotiations. So today, trying to understand leverage, the psychology and risk of it all, the techniques for buyers, techniques for the sellers, agents, and investors, and making informed decisions under pressure. Because we all know when we send an offer and when we're negotiating, we're all under pressure. So at that point, we have to know what's right, what's wrong, and what's the best for our clients. It's okay. Why negotiation matters in real estate. I don't think I have to really go into details about why negotiation matters, but we'll go over it briefly. But we all know, we're all in real estate. We all know why negotiations do matter in real estate. Real estate is a negotiated transactions. Its purchase price is only one term of the negotiation. Negotiations also involve many things from beginning to end of the transaction: closing dates, the contingencies, repairs, financing terms, the EMD, the earnest money deposits. Oh, Kay, we can hear you. Can you mute yourself, Kay? Thank you. Okay. And the key reality of it all. So the strongest negotiator is not always the one with the highest offer. Always remember that. We always think if we go highest and best, we win. Not true. It's often the ones with the most leverage and information. And I think we can all agree to that. Okay. So understanding the negotiation leverage. If I'm going too fast, guys, please let me know. I tend to talk fast when I'm speaking. So the sources of leverage. Buyer's leverage. Property has been on the market for a long time, which nowadays is the norm. We see a property, we like it, it's on the market 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days. Now we're watching it. Few competing offers, which is hence the reason for it to be on the market. Seller relocation or financial pressure, which we all know that that's the reasons why we keep it on the market and we start dropping the prices, is either because seller has to sell, there's a financial pressure, they just have to get rid of the property. The seller's leverage on that: multiple offers, limited inventory, strong market demand. Multiple offers, it's a hit or miss in today's market. So it depends on really if the sellers have that leverage or not. But also they can be bluffing if they have multiple offers. So we'll go over that. Common real estate negotiation tactics. So these are the frequently used tactics in anchoring, starting with an aggressive price. That's what we're all doing nowadays, regardless of who the agent is. We're all starting out aggressively. The deadline pressure, telling other agents, hey, we need an answer by tonight or we are withdrawing our offer. Don't do that, but okay. Scarcity. There are several interested buyers. Now, keyword, several interested buyers. They don't have an offer in hand. They're just interested buyers. Incremental concessions. Small compromises designed to extract larger ones. Emotional appeals. Personal stories to influence the decisions. We see these letters. We see, oh, their mom wants this. Their family lives here. It's been the one of my kids' dreams to go to this school. It's been that, and you'll see letters, which we know that we're not allowed to submit our offers with the letter to our clients. It's not allowed, but people will still do that nowadays, or they'll just send you a whole spiel of their, story background. So those are all these negotiation tactics. Now, when negotiating, in between negotiation, there's also bluff happening at the same time. Now, I'm sure we've all seen this, where we all see agents saying something, and then that's not really the case. It's actually something else. That's what we're going to get into. So what is a bluff? Again, a bluff is a statement or position intended to influence a negotiation without full commitment or supporting evidence. Examples of a bluff: we have multiple offers. This is our final offer. Another buyer is ready to sign. We'll walk away if you don't accept today. I hate that one. Just hate that one. We'll walk away if you don't accept it today. So not every aggressive claim is a bluff, though. So now you have to know the difference. Are they actually bluffing? Are they not bluffing? How do you call somebody's bluff? Now that we know the definition of a bluff, let's get into it. Okay, so signs of bluff may be occurring. Potential warning signs. Sorry, I have to keep moving this thing around here. Okay, so some potential warning signs. Sudden urgency without explanation. They're trying to rush you into signing it. Sign now, sign now, sign now. Otherwise, my clients are not going to be able to sign. They're going on vacation. They're flying. We have another offer coming in. We're not going to take it off the market unless you sign. We're not going to cancel this. We're going to keep showing it. We have 5 showings tomorrow. So if you want us to cancel those showings, please go ahead and sign today. Vague references to the competing offers, like I was saying. Repeated take it or leave it statements. That's happening a lot nowadays. Inconsistent information. They're saying something, but like I said, something else. The reality is something else. Their words aren't matching up. Their statements aren't matching up. They keep changing what they're saying. And dramatic changes in the negotiation. They'll say, we'll give you this, and then all of a sudden they'll come back and they say, okay, no, you know what, we'll give you this. Or it's okay, you can leave that in, or no, you know what, they don't want that. So you'll see constant back and forth with them, meaning you're the only offer they have. They're not going anywhere else. So the questions to ask when you are submitting an offer or when you are receiving an offer: is the claim verifiable? Does the behavior match the statement? And what I mean by that is, does the behavior match the statement? Is the claim verifiable? Now, you have an offer. You're speaking to the agent. Their tone, the way they're talking to you, the way they're communicating with you, and what they're actually saying, does it really match up? It's also, we all have a sixth sense, right? We can also kind of feel what the other side is, what's actually going on the other side, what is happening. So at this point in time, you have to use your knowledge. You have to use, also you have to see how you feel about it as well. Go with your gut feeling. Is this person actually, because every scenario is going to be different. I can give you many scenarios. This has happened to me as well, but what is actually the scenario that's going on with you? I wouldn't know at that time. So you have to be the judge of that. You have to see how your conversation is going, and if what they're saying is matching up to what they're, what's actually going on. So really, really have to sense it and take each conversation deeply and think about it and see what is correct, what they're exaggerating about, what they're not. Okay, how to test a bluff professionally. Now, we have some responses where, some agents unfortunately don't know how to respond correctly, and they'll kind of kill the deal by just with their tone. If they think someone is exaggerating, bluffing, or they're just not being upfront with them about what they have in hand, what offers they have, they'll either say, I don't believe you, or they'll say, you know what, just tell me. Like they'll come off wrong, right? And one of the bigger statements is, I don't believe you. Like, you don't have an offer. You can't say that. Like, you're just starting off wrong. You can't say that to another agent. Instead, try different tactics to get more information out of them. And some of these quotes, some of these are, can you provide additional details? Let's get into details now. See what else they have that they can provide you. Do they even have additional details? And if they don't, there you go. Strike one. When is the competing offer expected? They're going to say, oh, well, we're getting it right now. They're signing and they're sending it. Well, do you have it in hand? Just because you're saying it, I can't believe it. So that's strike two. Hey, you don't even have the offer in hand. You're saying, oh, we are getting these offers in. Do you actually have them in? An offer in hand is no offer in hand is no offer at all. I don't care if it's verbal or not. Has the seller requested highest and best offers? They will say, sometimes they will say, well, they can, but they don't want to do that because, in this market, they'll say something. They'll say something to make it sound like, no, we don't want highest and best. We're just going to play it by ear. I honestly don't do highest and best. I always do play it by ear because I do like to be fair with all my clients. Sometimes, yes, when it gets really crazy, I'll do highest and best. But I do give everybody a fair chance, and it's the way you say it. So has the seller requested highest and best offers? In this market, it's really hard for them to do that. But if they say something like that, you want to see how that conversation is going. Yes, actually, no, you know what? They're flexible with that. That's okay. You guys can go ahead and send it. Or no, they're having the other offer come in, but that person's not available, or my clients are not available. So, we're just going to go ahead and play by ear. It really depends on the conversation and how it's actually happening. So every scenario is different. Can you clarify the timeline? How long do you need it back by? We're sending the offer in. Sometimes a seller will take 2 to 3 days to get back to you. Sometimes they will get back to you right away. So what is the timeline? If we send you the offer today, how soon can we hear back? So those are the questions that you definitely need to ask. Now, the goal, basically, your goal is gather information without creating any conflict. You want to be on their nice side. You want to stay professional. You don't want to have a conversation and you're already on their bad side, because now even let's say they don't have an offer, they may make it hard for you to still get it because they don't want to work with you. Let's put it that way. They wouldn't want to work with you even if they want to have a nice transaction. Let's put it that way. I would always want to have a nice relationship with the person on the other end. So let's not make it difficult for you, and it'll be harder for you to negotiate. Not just that. Your offer might not get accepted. Your client may not get a good deal now, even if they were going to. It's like, you got to kind of suck up to them, but not really. Just be nice and be professional and have a professional conversation instead of pointing fingers saying, I don't believe you. I don't think this is right. I don't think you did this. I don't think you should do that. Like, no, let's not try to teach anybody anything. Let's stay professional and let's try to get our work done. Okay. Calling a bluff strategically. When to call a bluff. Okay, only when you have alternative options, your analysis supports the move. Like I said, every scenario is different. Please analyze every conversation you do have with an agent nowadays, because you'd be surprised. The downside risk is manageable. For example, seller, we have another offer coming tomorrow. What did I say before? You have the offer coming. You don't have the offer in hand. Okay, great. You're having the offer coming in. It's not in yet. Okay, I'll follow up with you again tomorrow. Go with the flow. Buyer, thank you for letting us know. Based on our analysis, we'll keep our current offer available through Friday. You can either do that, or you can say, okay, I'll follow up with you. I'll follow up with you tomorrow. I'll give you a call back. When is a good time to reach out back to you? How's your schedule tomorrow? You speak to them. And then the next day they say, oh yeah, we haven't received it yet. Okay, no worries. So do you think you're going to be getting the other offer? Yeah, we should be. You've already called their bluff. They don't have the offer in hand. They're not getting the offer in hand most likely. And they're trying to go ahead and kind of rush you into putting the offer. that is already, you've already called their bluff. You've already known that that offer is not coming through. Oh yeah, no, you know, they'll make an excuse. Somehow, some way, they will make an excuse. And I'll go over one that just happened to me, how I just won an offer that I'm closing on in 1.1 in a few weeks, and how I was able to win that offer without escalating and with getting 3% full commission. Anyways, okay. All right, so risks of calling a bluff. Now, you have to remember, there can be consequences. So let's be very careful when we're trying to point fingers, and you may be wrong. That's number one. You definitely may be wrong. Another buyer may exist, and you may think that this whole time they were exaggerating. Uh-oh, now we have a problem. Negotiations may end. The agent may just stop replying to you and be like, you know what, this person's wasting my time. I don't have time for this BS. So be very careful. Like I said, communication is key. You have to understand what the other party is trying to tell you. You have to sense that conversation. You have to use your common sense. You have to use your sixth sense. And you have to figure out where this conversation is going to. Try to catch their lies, try to catch their bluff. You try to catch when they're exaggerating. Because if you can't do that and you can't have a communication, you're going to have a problem helping your clients getting the best deal in this market. Relationships may be damaged. Like I said, don't try to be unprofessional. Don't try to point fingers. Don't try to blame the other agent for anything. Keep it very professional. Just treat them as you would want to be treated. Avoid statements such as before, like I said, but also you're bluffing. We'll proceed based on our valuation. We'll proceed based on my client's decision. We'll proceed based on what my clients would still like to keep their offer as it is. We do not want to make any changes. Keep it very professional, just as you always would. Key principle: challenge the positions, not the people. So please keep that in mind. Challenge positions, do not challenge people, because you will not win in that scenario. Okay, so negotiation strategies for buyers. Buyers' best practices: know the market value, establish a maximum price, avoid emotional bidding. Yeah, please don't do that. Use inspection findings strategically. Be willing to walk away. These are the buyer's best practices. Now, a powerful buyer statement that we're hearing nowadays: we like the property, but we are comfortable pursuing other opportunities if we cannot reach mutually acceptable terms. That is something we're hearing so much nowadays. Not even just that, even when they go under contract, they will still come back and say, well, there is another house coming on the market, so if you can't do this, we're just going to go with the other house. This is something that is just such a powerful statement nowadays, and unfortunately, it works because that's how it is. Everyone is desperate to either get rid of the property, or they're just worried it's going to come back on the market and then it's just going to sit. So no one wants their property back on the market. They will take whatever it takes to get this done. They will do it. So make sure, but also at this point in time, make sure you negotiate well. You don't get run over by the other agent. So you really, please just take a moment to just absorb the conversation rather than rushing it. If you don't have an answer right away, consult with another agent, consult with your colleagues, consult with your team members, consult with your team lead, consult with your broker, consult with anybody, and just say, you know what, this is the conversation that's happening. What do we do? If you get stuck somewhere, we're all here to help you, because that's what we do. So, yep. Negotiation strategies for sellers. Now, when we come to the seller side, sellers' best practices: creating competitive interest, as we were talking about, pricing it strategically, maintaining flexibility, avoiding revealing desperation. Don't want to look desperate, but in reality you are. Focus on total deal quality and not just the price. Nowadays, people don't want to just say, oh, well, it's a good price. They want more for their buck. So basically, they want a brand new house for a lesser value. They're nitpicking on every little thing. Evaluate their financing strength, the contingencies, closing certainty, timing. Timing is everything in today's market. So when you're competing with an offer, definitely timing would be key. The sooner you want to close, the better it is. It's not about the higher price. It's literally mostly about the timing and confidence that your clients will close and not back out, because nowadays that's what's happening a lot. Psychological principles in negotiation. Human biases that influence decisions. Fear of loss. People hate losing opportunities. We all, no matter what field we're in, I think it's fear of missing out, FOMO. So people hate losing opportunities. Social proof. Buyers react to the competition. You don't have a competitor in front of you. You're going to take it nice and easy. The minute you have competition, the minute you have another offer, you end up, instead of putting it for a full price, now you're going above asking, and now you have to pay more even in today's market because you decided to wait. So take advantage of the opportunity. Don't try to be in a competition at this point. Commitment bias. Small commitments lead to larger commitments. Anchoring. First numbers strongly influence outcomes. So successful negotiators recognize these influences without becoming victims of them. So let's be successful negotiators. Let's try to win in this market. Let's try to work everything strategically. Let's try to communicate with the other seller, the other party, to see where we stand. Communication is key in today's market. Don't just send an offer. Please don't just send an offer. Try to see, even if it's something on the market for 5 days, you may still be able to negotiate that. Do not try to overprice something. Do not try to make the offer so nice and clean. If you're trying to get rid of financing, appraisal in today's market, you're trying to get rid of everything. Why? Because you think it's only been on the market 4 or 5 days. They're definitely going to have another offer. How do you know that? Now you're trying to call the shots and you're saying that you know. No, you don't know. So please do not send an offer without that. Try to communicate with every agent, and it builds rapport, it builds confidence, it builds a relationship with the other party, and that's what you want. A real world scenario. List price, let's say it's $650,000. Seller states, we have 3 interested buyers and expect offers this weekend. Okay, great. You expect offers this weekend, but you don't have anything now. All right, great, cool. I'll follow up with you this weekend. Now the buyer is analyzing, right? The buyer is like, okay, well, property is listed for 45 days, and now they're saying they're expecting offers this weekend. Okay, not one offer, offers. Okay, so a recent comparable sales support is $620,000 to $630,000. Well, sir, lady, whoever, you have this house listed for $650,000. It's been on the market for 45 days. The comps are not supporting your list price, $620,000 to $630,000, and it's been on the market for 45 days. And you have, let's say they haven't reduced it, they're still there. Why are we still higher than the comps? Okay, so there's no visible signs of a strong competition. That's when you know that you have leverage. Okay. Now the buyer's response, we appreciate the update. Based on the market data, we're submitting an offer of $625,000 and can close within 30 days. Result, the buyers respond to facts rather than pressure. So this is just a scenario trying to tell you, it's not about, hey, what are the contingencies, what are this? We're responding based on the facts. We're not responding based on anything else. We're analyzing the situation. Okay, now the agent tried to tell you that you have multiple offers this weekend. Well, they're having multiple offers this weekend, but it's been on the market for 45 days. Now all of a sudden you're getting multiple offers. Come on, dude. Okay, so it's really like you have to, again, analyze the situation, analyze the conversation. And what I like to do whenever I hear this, whether it's been on the market 7 days, whether it's been on the market 10 days, I will wait in this market as long as I can to submit an offer if my clients want a good deal. If they want to get a good deal, if they don't want to go higher in price, if they want to make sure that they can do the contingencies, I would never, first day on the market, I never send an offer. I always wait, I will be in touch with the agent. As soon as they tell me there is an offer coming, I will update my client. At this point, now the other agent is my friend. I'm talking to him or her, texting her, calling him or her. And now I have a conversation going on like, okay, they said they're expecting an offer. Let's see if they get the offer. And hey, do you know what the offer is? My next question is usually, hey, so do you know what the offer is that you're getting? Are they cash? Are they conventional? Are they FHA? Has this other client agent provided you with any information? Because my client is a strong offer, is a strong, he has a good job. Our offer, we're going to close on time. The lender is great. So you have to really play it by ear. Okay. Now, key takeaways from this: information creates leverage. Emotions weaken negotiating positions. Don't make this about emotions. Please do not get emotional with an agent. Okay, don't start yelling and crying on the phone, especially if you're a girl. But definitely, please do not cry over the phone. Do not yell at the other agent over the phone. Do not make it a fight. Do not make it a fight at all. Please, let's just, you can imagine the scenarios I have gone through where on the other side, an agent will just be, it's not even me, it's the listing agent or someone. I had one house I showed, it was about 2.8 million. The realtor was the owner, and we showed the property, and he was there the whole time, and we did not submit an offer for it. The agent literally harassed me, and I had to report the agent. He called me and he yelled at me saying, you showed this house, you wasted my time, and your clients are not submitting an offer. This is a realtor / owner, okay, of this property, and literally harassed me. And well, your clients are not worth it anyways. I saw your clients. Like, it was a whole thing. It was a really crazy conversation. I said, sir, I will block your number and I will report you. Please stop calling me and harassing me about your house. It was crazy. So you, no matter, you have to, if it's on the other side, please still be professional about it, and don't be that same person. Not every claim is a bluff, as I said. Please monitor each situation separately. Test assumptions before reacting. Don't just react right away. Again, think, go through the thought process in your head. What is this person saying? Now, go through that, redo the whole scenario in your head and kind of see what the conversation was. And maybe you can react on the spot, but it's, make sure you react in a right way. Call bluffs professionally and strategically. Maintain credibility at all times. Best negotiation principle: be willing to walk away from a bad deal to secure a good one. That's key here. Be willing to walk away from a bad deal to secure a new one. And why do I say that? Is because you're not looking out for yourself, you're looking out for your client. You make sure you get your clients the best deal, because if you don't, they're not going to want to work with you again. Because in this market, yes, we have thousands of realtors here. Some are great, some are amazing, some are not so great. However, at the end of the day, you make that call. You have to show that other client of yours that in this market, how you can win for them. The reason, like I told you guys, the reason I came up with this idea of this PowerPoint for bluffing and negotiating strategies, I ratified a $1.1 million deal, and this is in Gainesville, Virginia. And the agent, we showed it the first day it came on the market. My clients are out-of-state clients. They're not here. So it was a virtual showing, and they absolutely loved the house. And they're like, okay, we want to submit the offer. This home is gorgeous. It's custom made. Please, let's go ahead and submit the offer, because this house is not going to stay on the market. Now, the clients are thinking this house is not going to stay on the market. And I'm like, okay, all right, sure, but please calm down. Let's take it easy. I don't want you to waive everything. They wanted to waive everything. Waive financing, waive home inspection. They wanted to waive everything and just submit the offer. I called the agent. He did not answer. I texted him. It was a husband and wife team. And I said, okay, hey, do you have any offers on the table? At this time, my client, we did a virtual showing. They're interested in it. Yes, we have many interests. We have showings booked all day this weekend. We just put it on the market. So yes, we're expecting many offers. That's exactly what the agent said to me. I said, okay, cool. If I need to come back, can I show it again? I looked at their schedule, I looked at their showing time. They didn't really have much showings on there, right? So I already knew that the multiple showings he was talking about, the showing time was available. So definitely that wasn't the case. And I told my clients, let's go ahead and wait. There are no offers in hand yet. I'm communicating with the agent. If I send an offer now, of course, they're going to try to counter us back and saying, hey, go higher, go highest and best. We're accepting highest and best. I did not want my clients in this market to pay for the highest and best. Because I had seen the comps. That was the highest listed home in that whole area. I understand that they did many upgrades. That home was definitely custom made inside, but the comp still did not support such a high raise in price for them. So I told my clients, let's go ahead and wait. I don't want to submit the offer right now. Please, if you trust me, let's wait. They're like, okay, Casey, we trust you. Let's go ahead and wait. 2 days go by. I call the agent again. Doesn't answer. I text the agent. They're like, no offers in hand yet. And they're like, are you submitting an offer? I'm like, so now I start to bluff. I say, my clients are out of state. They're trying to get the pre-approval. They're coming here and they're transferring. So I don't have the pre-approval in hand yet. I can't submit. I didn't say I'm waiting on you to get another offer. I said I'm waiting on the pre-approval. They're just waiting for the final things. They had to run their credit. Everything is good. Oh, okay. So third day goes, then he messages me and he's like, did your clients get the pre-approval? I'm like, they're still working on it. They're so slow because, they're working. So yes, I'm waiting on it. As soon as I have it, I'll be in touch. I didn't have to. And then my clients asked me, hey, did you ask the agent? I said, no, the agent already asked me. That means there is no offer in hand, right? And then 4 days go by. I asked the agent again. He doesn't respond. Okay, I said, hey, and then I messaged him twice that day, hey, do you have any offers in hand? And he still does not have any offers in hand. 5 days go by, 6 days go by, 7 days go by, 8 days go by, and my clients are like, okay, can we submit an offer for lower now? I said, okay, well, since it's the 7th or 8th day, let me talk to the agent and see if we can come down on the price. The agent said, no, we're expecting an offer. We can't come down on the price. I said, okay, they're not going to take it. So I ran a scenario. I said, this is going to be, instead of writing the offer, I texted the agent exact terms. I texted him the price. We went $25,000 below. I texted him the terms. I texted him the free rent back. I texted him all this stuff that I was going to put. And the agent responded, don't bother. That's exactly what the agent responded. I said, okay, the agent said, don't bother. So they're not going to take a lower price at this point. And yes, it has been 7-8 days on the market, but this is a slower market. It doesn't mean that they're going to drop the price right away. They are going to wait. Then 12 days go by. So this whole thing is going on for almost about 2 weeks now. 12 days go by, 11, 12 days go by. And then I finally messaged the agent again. I'm keeping an eye on it. And I say, hey, so did you finally get your offer? He's like, yes, we are actually under review. I say, so you have an offer in hand? He says, yes, we're actually in the process of ratifying. I say, you're in the process of ratifying? I told you to keep me posted if you have any offers. He's like, yes, well, if you have one, send it over. I said, whoa. So if you're in the process of ratifying, how can I send you an offer over? He's like, because my clients don't like their terms. I'm like, okay. So you do have an offer, and what if you signed? Have your client signed? I said, okay, forget the other buyer. Have your client signed the final signatures? And he said, no, not yet. We're waiting for a counter back. I said, okay. So I call my clients, and then my clients are freaking out. You didn't tell us. I said, no. I'm telling you, they don't have another offer. They're telling me they have an offer because now they want to accept an offer, but I can be wrong. I did explain to my clients, I'm calling their bluff, but if I'm wrong, don't blame me for it, because I'm saying at this point we should now submit an offer. But the way I'm going to do it is I'm not going to escalate the price. I'm going to ask for a full commission. We are still going to do the home inspection. We are not going to put an escalation clause in. We're going to keep the appraisal. We're going to keep the financing. We're going to keep everything, and we're going to win this offer. And they said, but Casey, you're going to make us lose. I said, trust me, I will not make us lose. I submitted it with all the contingencies, and he came back to me in 2 hours. I said, can I still submit? 4 hours passed by. And I said, can I still submit, or are you ratified? He's like, no, you can still submit. I submitted, and he got back to me within 30 minutes. And he said, he said, Casey, you're asking for 3%. You do know you're in a competitive market right now where I have another offer. So this is a competition and you're going to sit here and ask me for 3%. I said, yes, Jim, I am. And he said, my clients, let me talk to my clients and get back to you. 15 minutes later, he gets back to me and he says, my clients say 2%. I say, and Casey says 3%. That's literally what I said. And he said, you do understand you're going to lose. I said, I won't. And he was silent. After an hour, he came back. He said, you got your 3%. Let's ratify. And I won the offer. I called his bluff every step of the way. And I kid you not, this was the whole scenario. I have it all in my text messages. And he's like, you should, I don't know what, he said something smart to me about my 3%. I said, thank you, I appreciate it. I know I deserve it. So, I still got them the 3%. I still didn't have to go over. I still got them the home inspection. I got them the financing contingency. I got them the appraisal. I got them everything. So I did call his bluff. Yes, the house itself, I couldn't get them to lower the price, but that was because it was less than 2 weeks on the market. My clients really wanted it. It was a win-win situation for everybody. They did not have the other offer. I got them to keep their contingencies. And they asked me, they called me later that evening. They said, can we just ask you, how did you know he didn't have another offer and he was bluffing? I said, it's all about communication. The way he was messaging me, the way I read his messages, I understood his tone, even though we were not talking, but I understood his tone in the messages that this guy does not have an offer. So again, it doesn't have to be verbal. The way they respond to you, the way you get back to them, I could have easily said, you know what, give me the 2% because you have another offer. I'll take it. I did not, because my gut feeling said he does not have another offer. He will accept my offer. And he did. So it's about your gut feeling. It's about the whole conversation, the way you portray it. I had another one I closed 3 months ago, 1.6 in Gainesville. They said the same thing to me. They were like, we're going to give you 2.5. I said, absolutely not. I will only take 3%. And they had 6 offers, and I got it for 1.6 million, and I got it for 3%. Why? I called the other agent's bluff. So every scenario, you have to judge every scenario separately. Yes, can I be wrong? I can. But again, make your own judgment. And I did let my clients know I may be wrong. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do have another offer. But if they did, they would not be negotiating this much with me. They would have said, I'm sorry, we do have another better offer. Just don't even send it. But what did they do? They did take the time and negotiate with me. So when someone's negotiating with you that much, you automatically know the other offer is not even on the table. So any questions, guys? I hope those were some good scenarios. And these are real scenarios. I'm not making these up. But any questions, guys, for me? I hope that helped. Are you guys there? I can't hear you. Hello? Is it?
That was a good one, Casey.
Yeah?
More information, more informative.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you guys have any questions for me? I hope I didn't go too fast, but I really hope these are real life scenarios that I have been through, which is why I wanted to teach something different. It's not about, hey, how to get more leads or this and that. This is literally on how to save yourselves from getting into a bad deal when you can gain so much more out of it. So.
Yeah, I think we should have more confidence when we are dealing with the other agents or the clients. We just need to be, our priority, I think the first thing is for the client.
Yes, confidence is key. The minute you hesitate, the minute the other agent feels that you're not confident in what you're saying, they will sense it and they will override you basically. So yes, you have to be confident. If you're stuttering in what you're saying, well, no. Tell them straight, point blank. That's it. This is what I'm telling you. This is what's going to happen and this is my offer. Be very nice, but be very confident. And the confidence will win you over every time, for sure.
But I have a question. So
yes.
Right now, I mean, I have not have any deal for a selling or buying, but I'm dealing with the rentals. So I had experience that I just want to share. Which is kind of surprising for me as well. So I 4,500 in Montclair area. And I sent it to my client, and my client's like, I really want to see this, it's a very good price for a single family house. It's a big house, actually. So I said, okay. We went there. He saw the house. He likes it. And he said, yeah, I really want to submit the application now so that way we can get it. It has like 5 bedrooms, two-level house, has a garage. Up on the garage, there's extra room in there. Very clean. Backyard was good. Everything was good. And then my client submit the application. And there is another thing for that one as well, that they are open to actually selling that too as well. So they said that because they put it on the sign for sale or for rent. So, and under the agent description, it was showing that the client has like 2.25% consumer loan. So they really want to sell that property too as well. So I said, okay. I spoke to my client. I said, this is a good opportunity if you want to take it. He said, okay, get all this information. I called the agent. I spoke to her. She said, yeah, there is two loans on this property. So buyer is actually looking for $200,000 cash at the table in order to close this loan, close this deal. So I said, okay, let me talk to my client about that. And my client, he's like, yeah, we can do that. But then his actually cousin really wants to buy that property. And then the next day, I received an email from the other agent that has actually multiple agents involved in the property. So the other agent sent an email to me. He said that, oh, we got multiple rental offers, multiple applications on it. So whoever is going to be giving us a higher rent offer, we can accept it.
Okay.
So I was like, what do you mean about like higher rent offer? Because I never heard about that.
That I just,
you ever?
Yeah. So what did you do? Let me ask you this. What did you do?
I have not done anything yet because my client is not interested. First of all, he was thinking that it's a big house and why the rent is so low, this kind of thing. And he's like, is something wrong with the house? I said, no, there's nothing wrong with the house. The house is fine. The only thing probably they reduced the price because of the lot of stairs in the front. So maybe that's why, or maybe that's not like, they don't have like a big yard in the back.
Yes.
Other than that, it's fine. But, my client did that. They said, no, we're not looking for that. We're not interested.
So piggyback on your question.
Scenario,
yes.
How can you deal in this scenario?
So I would have to know what the actual conversation was. So let me tell you what happened. I actually did that. I had a rental listing in Herndon, Virginia, in Franklin Farms. I just did that. I had multiple applications, and it actually became a little hostile. This what happened is I got an application for full price, and then I told the agent, and I told them, I said, we have an application. So if you want to still submit, you can, but please do understand we already have an application in hand. And they said, what if they go up higher in the price? I did not ask them to do that. They offered it themselves. I said, okay, if you want to, that's up to you. Go ahead and submit it. And but I just want to let you know, it's not just the price factor. It depends on their credit score. It depends on everything else. It depends on everything, the background check. So I did get that application. I got another call from this was a direct client. He found it on Zillow or Homes.com. He called me, and I said, we have a couple of applications in hand, and he also wanted to go higher. So now, when they want to go higher, it depends on the way they told you. It could have been correct. Yes, they said if you want to go higher, but that's not all the factors. That's not everything that matters. It depends on your key question should have been, okay, well, how are you accepting the other applications? And if they haven't accepted the other applications, that means something is wrong. So you could still keep the price that you had because maybe their credit scores, their background check, there was something. If they have that many applications, why haven't they accepted it yet, right? So there's always more to the story that you would have to know. So I did end up actually accepting a higher application. The people went $150 over the rental price for my home, and my clients did accept it, but not because of that. They accepted it because there was no pets. They didn't want any pets. They accepted it because their credit was good, their income was good. So there's so many factors when you do that. You want to ask them those other key questions for sure.
Right. Yeah. But kind of like for this one is kind of for me. I mean, my client they ended up like not. I mean, he submitted the application, but before that, he was saying like I called the agent actually. I asked her like do you guys have any other applications on it? She said not yet.
Okay.
And the next day, when my client submitted the application, then I called her again. She said, yes, we do have multiple applications on it. And I have not seen any, I have not seen any of the applications yet, but we do have multiple applications on it. So we need to see it and then we will let you know. I said, okay, that's fine. And the next day, the agent I was, I was talking to, she was not the one who sent an email to me. There was another person actually sent an email to me, said that, we have multiple applications on it. Whoever is going to give us a highest rent offer, we will accept it. I said, okay, but I need to
That
understand,
kind
like,
of doesn't, yeah, that kind of doesn't make sense, because it's not whoever gives the high, it's not a highest and best offer. There's multiple
right,
things that go into this application. Like I said, I could have chosen the one with a stable income and with a clean record, and that would have been a rental price at its amount. So again, it varies. Did your client go through with it, and did you ever find out what was the actual scenario and what actually happened, or did they not even go through with it? You said they didn't go through with it, right?
no, no, they didn't. They said they don't like the. I mean, they like the house, but they said first of thing they were thinking like is something wrong with the house, and they'll be like, no, we're not actually going ahead and do anything, even though he submitted the application.
So
But then,
they could have still submitted at the full application if you knew your clients had everything was good with your clients. It was up to them at that point, because I'm not in that scenario. I wouldn't know. Again, that would be your judgment call at that point. But you would have to kind of know the way the scenario was. If they, for a day before, they said there's no applications, and within 24 hours they said we have multiple applications, that's a red flag right there. How do you have multiple applications within less than 24 hours?
right,
So
that's
yeah,
why
maybe they had
me
one,
too.
maybe they had one,
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. You have to make the judgment call for it. All of a sudden you have 0 to what, 5 6, what do you mean multiple offers? So yeah, that would be your judgment call when you are speaking to them and seeing how that conversation goes. But for me, it would have been, I would have still submitted it at that rental price, and I would have still submitted the application just to see the response I was going to get.
right. So I mean, because my client was not interested, otherwise
Right.
I would suggest them to do it. Because then the problem for this house specifically, this was in the market before. It was on Zillow, and then they took it out from the market, and then they put it back in. So it looks like it was around like 180 days on the Zillow.
Yeah. So there
That's
you go.
another
Those are
thing
your,
too.
you just told me all the red flags.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, definitely make that judgment call if somebody is doing that and all of a sudden there is a change. Again, their statements didn't match, right? That's what I went over. Your statements are not matching. One day you have it, it's not even been 3 4 days where you all of a sudden you have all these applications. Your statements not matching with what's showing. So
right.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely
So
I wouldn't have gone over.
yep. So that's why I was like kind of very. I mean, this is the first. I mean, I've been dealing with rentals, and I had never had this kind of issue, but this is kind of like red flag for me.
Yeah, it will happen and sometimes yes, that will happen. Like I told you my scenario, I did get my clients $150 above asking for their rental amount. Um, but again, I did not pressurize them to do that. I said, yes, we do have multiple applications if you would like, and they were like, how much higher can we go? I said, I don't, it's up to you guys. I mean, they're the ones going to be paying the rent. I'm just telling you. And I told them, I said, it's not just that. If your client doesn't have a good credit score, if your income is not supporting your rent, my clients are not going to still take you. It won't matter if you go $300 higher for me. So every factor counts in for a rental. You're not gonna sign a lease with somebody that your clients don't trust.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully that helped. But yes, I hope hopefully this whole scenario you can relate to it now, which your red flags were,
Yeah.
which not. So
Yep. Yes. Thank you, Casey, for
I
taking the time.
I appreciate it. I got my Starbucks now, so I'm okay. Thank you, Siobhan. Any other questions, guys? I hope you guys learned something. If not, sorry. All right, guys. I think how do we exit this? Because it's not. No, the mouse is not like. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.